Hello, my love. Good morning to you. I hope that this finds you well. I hope that you are awake. I hope that you are feeling good and that you are feeling good about yourself. I hope that you do something for yourself today. Something small, something large, but something just for yourself. I'm thinking about you as always, and I'm wishing you well. I was thinking about making a list, and this was something that I was a very, very large fan of. Making a list is extremely important in terms of productivity and accomplishing goals, but it also has an extreme benefit in just freeing your mind. When in life I felt that I was overwhelmed with all of the myriad things that I had to do, or that I had foolishly taken on and not planned my life well, whichever way it may have been, when I felt that sort of overwhelm and there are things in your mind and they're pressing on you and you know you have these things to do, making a list is an excellent antidote to the stress of the things running in your mind. Because when you make a list, you set forth the things that you need to do and you have it on a piece of paper, or some sort of electronic device, I suppose, and it makes it concrete and clear and containable. And you can see what it is, and then you can add a temporal element of when you will do this thing and when you will do that thing, and perhaps maybe you shouldn't do the third thing on the list at all. Making a list is extremely helpful in just freeing the mind, and so I highly, highly recommend it. There's also a sense of accomplishment, if you will, when you get to check things off that I had thoroughly enjoyed, knowing that you had completed something on the list. There are myriad ways you can go about listing, and you can research this all on your own, of course. At one point in time in my life, the method I had used, and my methods changed all throughout, so what would be good for you at any point in time is anyone's guess, just as it took me a little bit of figuring out what worked when, and then I would abandon it as it was no longer useful or things changed, as they do. So, at one point in time, what I would do is I had 3 lists. Actually, I had more than 3 lists, but I had 3 main lists. And one list was today, which was the things that I wanted to do in a day. The second was a week, the list for the week of the things that I wanted to get accomplished that week. And then the third list was sort of the things I wanted to get accomplished in the month, or that I just generally needed to get done. And so what I would do then, and I cannot remember, I do not believe that this specific procedure is part of Getting Things Done, which was a book by a fellow whose name now I cannot recall. But Getting Things Done is a very useful book on productivity. As an aside, which I recommend, or at least the first edition, which is the one that I had read. But the point is, so I had 3 lists. One for the day, one for the week, and one for the month. And what I would do at the beginning or at the end of each week is I would look at the things that I wanted to get accomplished for the week. And then scratch that, let me back up. I had an omnibus list of things that I wanted to do for the month. And then what I would do each week is you look at the things for the month and then pick which ones you want to get done on any particular week. So let's say on Sunday I would sit down and move the things from the month list that I wanted to get done for that week to the week list. And then each day when I got up in the morning after my meditation, of course, I would look at my list for the day and the list for the week, and I would take what I wanted from the list for the week and pick what things I wanted to get done that day and move them to the list for that day. And so each morning I would get up and look at the things I wanted to get done for the week and pick one or two, a manageable number of course, and move that to the list for what I wanted to get done that day. I hope that this makes sense. The explanation in my mind is taking much longer than the simplicity of the process itself, or system, if you will. So, anyway, the long and short of it is lists are extremely helpful. Whether you want to adopt my mangled description or something else or not at all, of course, is up to you. But it's something I thought I should share. And with that, I will bid you adieu, and I will recommend that you take a listen to a musical group called the Goon Sax, which I found incredibly enjoyable and moving, but sort of peppyish, uplifting, but thoughtful. Anyway, listen to them yourself, make your own decision, and see what you think, but I do highly recommend it. And with that, I will bid you adieu.